Andrew, the thing I spend most of my time helping people negotiate contracts is on liability, and a lot of that time spent discussing with the other party what is indirect loss, can it be excluded? And it ends up being quite frustrating because for everyone in the room, because we all struggle to understand just exactly what it means, which then makes it really difficult to have a negotiation about it.
Yes, and of course there's been lots of case law going back to Hadley and Baxendale, 19th century, and even I was only a small boy at the time. And you would have thought that we would have got that kind of issue absolutely nailed on by now. But of course the real problem with all these cases is that they're fact specific, and trying to apply quite tricky rules to your particular facts, particularly theoretical facts, when you're trying to negotiate your contract is really difficult.
Yeah, and with the new case GB Gas and Accenture, we have a 21st century case to give us a sense of what indirect loss might mean in the 21st century. It's an IT case. It's all about Accenture providing an IT system that provides billing support to Centrica, and it doesn't work and there are delays and Centrica suffers loss. Centrica made claims for losses such as gas distribution charges, extra stationary costs, trying to pursue debts that actually weren't really due, and one of the ones that I think is really interesting is goodwill. And Accenture said, hang on, all of these are examples of indirect loss and are excluded by the contract. The court looked at them, looked at all those types of loss and said, no, actually, these are all direct losses, which suggests that what is a direct loss is a very broad type of loss.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. Actually, I think this case, although it is applying quite well-known principles, there's no new law in it. I think the way that it looks at that direct loss, indirect loss issue is really significant. I mean, the most significant for me, as one of the ones you mentioned, was goodwill payments to third parties. So your customers have suffered some inconvenience, and as a gesture of goodwill, you have no contractual obligation to pay these sums. £8 million is paid out, and the court says that that is direct loss. And it does seem to me that it is quite tricky to work out what is going to be indirect loss in the future. I don't think it's really an area where you're going to have those kind of conversations anymore, because you'll be talking about other things.
Yeah, because I certainly draw one of the conclusions is it's not worth having an argument about excluding indirect loss. As a supplier, you're justified asking for it just in case. As a customer, why worry about it, because it's not likely to be relevant. And I think the real focus should be on what is the cap on liability, which is, after all, ultimately a commercial issue, albeit supported by the law.